Hello everybody, this is Cap of cODeAclysm, and I'd like to welcome you to the 14th video in my Beginner C++ tutorial series. So in this video we're going to be talking about constructors. So from the last video, you could probably remember that we made something called a destructor for our car class, which is called when our objects are destroyed. Well, a constructor is called when our objects are created. So we are going to improve upon our car class here by moving our attributes up here, which will make them private, and then creating a few constructors. So to create a constructor, you just say your class name followed by any parameters you want passed in, which in this case we don't want any. And so here we're just going to create default values for our variables or attributes. Alright, so now if we come down here into our main and we create an object based off of our class called Mustang and call Mustang.printinfo, save it and then run it, as you can see it filled in our attributes with our default values from our constructor. So as you can see, constructors can be very useful, and you can have more than one constructor. So let's create another one here, but we will pass in the values that we want to fill our attributes with. So we will pass in one integer, and we'll just say year in. A string, we'll say make in, another string called model in. So now we're just going to say year is equal to year in, which is whatever they passed in for the first parameter. Make is equal to make in, which is whatever they pass in for the second parameter, and model is equal to model in, which is whatever they pass in for the third parameter. So now let's make another object using our second constructor here. Say car ranger, and this time we use parentheses. So just like we were calling a method that took parameters, you pass them in the same way. So we are going to say 2005 Ford, and of course Ranger. And then down here we are going to say Ranger.printinfo. Let's save it and then run it. As you can see, it filled out our attributes with what we passed in as parameters, which is what we wanted. So something to note about when you make your own constructors, when you make your own constructors, the default constructor that is generated by the system, if you don't make any constructors, is no longer accessible. But you can make it accessible if you so desire, because see now, take that away, it doesn't let us do that because we have defined another constructor which for some reason makes the default generated constructor non-accessible. But if we want to make it accessible again, we can just say car empty parentheses equal default. And now, as you can see, it allows us to use our default constructor, or the system generated default constructor, which will put nothing in our attributes, as you can see if we run it. Oh, oops. So that concludes this video on constructors. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe, and follow us on Facebook, or I'm sorry, follow us on Twitter, so that you can stay up to date with when we post these tutorial videos. I would like to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.